Delete the message. You already typed it, I know. But before you hit send, give me 7 minutes. Because what I'm about to tell you is going to hurt, but it's going to free you. That feeling in your chest right now. That urge to reach out one more time. To explain yourself. To ask what went wrong. To send something, anything just to get a response. I need you to sit with that for a second. Because here's what's actually happening. You're not trying to fix things. You're trying to escape the silence. The silence is telling you something you don't want to hear. So you keep filling it with words, hoping eventually she'll say what you need her to say. She won't. And deep down, in the part of your gut you keep ignoring, you already know this. You know she's not matching your energy. You know you're the one keeping this thing breathing. You know that if you stopped reaching out tomorrow, the whole thing would flatline. That thought right there. That's the one keeping you up at night. Because accepting it means accepting that you've been alone in this for a while now. And that's a hard pill to swallow when you've invested so much. So instead of facing it, you convince yourself you just need to try a little harder. Send one more paragraph. Ask one more question. Be a little more available. Maybe then she'll finally see it. Maybe then she'll come back around. But let me make this painfully simple for you. When a woman genuinely wants you, you feel it. You're not decoding her messages at 2 in the morning. You're not screenshot texting your boys asking what does this mean. You're not carrying a connection on your back like dead weight while she gives you nothing but breadcrumbs. Real interest is obvious. It's reciprocated. It's easy. Not perfect, but easy. There's a rhythm to it, a flow. You give, she gives back. You pull, she comes closer. It doesn't feel like a battle. It doesn't feel like a test you keep failing. If you feel like you're dragging this thing uphill by yourself, that's not a challenge to overcome. That's not a sign you need to work harder. That's not the universe testing your patience. That's the answer you've been begging for. You're just refusing to read it. And I get it. Walking away from someone you wanted feels like losing. It feels like admitting defeat. But staying where you're not wanted, that's not strength. That's self-destruction in slow motion. So here's my promise. By the end of this, you're going to see everything differently. Not because I'm going to trick you into moving on, but because you're finally going to give yourself permission to. This is the trap that keeps men stuck for months, sometimes years. And it's so subtle you don't even realize you're in it. You're not chasing the woman in front of you. You're chasing a ghost, a memory, a version of her that doesn't exist anymore. You're holding on to screenshots from 3 weeks ago. Replaying conversations from 3 months ago. Living in the energy of the first night you met. She used to double text me. She used to call me on her lunch break. She used to cancel plans with her friends just to see me. She used to look at me like I was the only man in the room. Cool. That was then. What is she doing right now? That's the only question that matters. Not what she said in January. Not how she acted on your birthday. Not the promises she made when things were good. Right now. Today. This week. Because that's the only version that's real. Everything else is a movie you keep rewatching hoping for a different ending. People shift. Feelings fade. Someone can be crazy about you 1 month and completely indifferent the next. That doesn't mean you did something wrong. That doesn't mean you failed some test. It just means things changed. And you weren't paying attention because you were too busy remembering how good it used to be. The beginning is a drug. Those early days when everything felt electric. When she laughed at all your jokes. When the chemistry was undeniable. When you stayed up until 4 in the morning talking about nothing and everything. That feeling is intoxicating. And when it starts to fade, your brain goes into withdrawal. So you chase the high. You keep texting hoping to recreate that spark. You keep calling hoping to hear that warmth in her voice again. You keep showing up hoping she'll look at you the way she used to. But you're not chasing her. You're chasing a feeling that's already gone. And here's the brutal part. She's already moved on from that version of herself too. She's not sitting around missing those early days. She's not replaying your old conversations. She's living in the present while you're stuck in a highlight reel. That chapter closed. The book kept going. And she turned the page without telling you. The longer you worship the memory, the longer you stay trapped in something that no longer exists. You become a prisoner of your own nostalgia. Stuck loving someone who already left. Waiting for a woman who's not coming back. The person you want disappeared weeks ago. maybe months ago. And the sooner you accept that, the sooner you stop wasting your life waiting for a resurrection that's never going to happen. I need you to understand something about human psychology that could save you months of pain. The moment she starts creating distance, your instinct is going to scream at you to close the gap. Your brain goes into panic mode. Your chest tightens. Your thoughts start racing. And every fiber of your being tells you to do something. Anything. Just fix it. So you text again. You call twice. You send a long paragraph explaining how you feel. You apologize for things you didn't even do. You show up more. You try harder. You bend over backwards hoping she'll notice how much you care. And every single one of those moves is pushing her further away. Here's why this happens. Neediness kills attraction the way water kills fire. Instantly and completely. There's no recovery. There's no coming back from it. Once she sees you as desperate, that image burns into her brain. And nothing you say will erase it. When you flood someone who's backing up, you don't look devoted. You look suffocating. You don't look passionate. You look unhinged. You don't look like a man who loves deeply. You look like a man who can't survive alone. And that's terrifying to a woman. Not attractive. Terrifying. The thing is, she can feel it. Women have a sixth sense for this. She can feel the desperation underneath the casual "hey, just thinking about you." She can feel the anxiety behind the "did I do something wrong?" She can feel you crumbling even when your words sound calm. Energy doesn't lie. And yours is screaming that you're falling apart without her. Pressure doesn't create desire. It creates avoidance. It makes her want to run. It makes her silence her phone when your name pops up. It makes her dread your messages instead of smile at them. Every double text pushes her one step closer to the exit. But here's what most men never learn. The guy who quietly steps back when things shift. He's magnetic. Not because he's playing games. Not because he's following some strategy. But because he respects himself enough to stop performing for someone who already left the audience. He doesn't beg. He doesn't chase. He doesn't explain himself. He just lets the silence speak. And that silence says more than 1,000 messages ever could. Sometimes doing less isn't giving up. It's the most powerful move you'll ever make. It's telling her without words that you have a life worth living. That you don't need her validation to feel whole. That you're completely fine walking away. And ironically, that's the only energy that ever brings anyone back. Not the chasing. Not the begging. The quiet confidence of a man who knows his worth and refuses to negotiate. Pay attention here because this is where most men get played. Not maliciously. Not intentionally. But because they confuse politeness with attraction. And that confusion costs them months of their life. A lot of women will never reject you directly. They won't sit you down and say "I'm not interested." They won't send a clear message ending things. That's not how it works. Instead, they give you just enough warmth to keep you on the hook. Just enough hope to keep you hanging around. Just enough words to stop you from walking away. "Oh, that's so sweet of you. Yeah, we should totally hang out sometime. I've just been so busy lately, but I promise we'll figure something out. Things are crazy right now, but maybe next week. I'll let you know when I'm free." And you eat that up. You take some time and turn it into hope. You take maybe and turn it into a plan. You take "I'll let you know" and save the date in your calendar. You build an entire future on words that meant absolutely nothing. She wasn't making a promise. She was making an exit. A soft one. A gentle one. One that lets her off the hook without making her the bad guy. But stop. Take a breath. Look at what she's doing. Not what she's saying. Those are two completely different languages. And only one of them tells the truth. Does she actually suggest a specific day? Does she offer a real time to meet? Does she reschedule when she cancels? Does she put genuine effort into making something happen? Or does she keep you floating in a permanent maybe with no landing strip in sight? Because a woman who wants to see you will move mountains to make it happen. She'll rearrange her schedule. She'll cancel other plans. She'll wake up early or stay out late. She'll offer alternatives when something falls through. She'll meet you halfway. Sometimes more than halfway. That's what real interest looks like. Looks like effort. Looks like action. It looks like someone actually trying to be in your presence. Not someone who always has an excuse ready. If all you're getting is vague warmth with zero follow-through, she's not interested. She's just too polite to say it. She's managing your feelings instead of being honest with you. And your job is to stop mistaking her kindness for a green light. Her mouth will lie to you. It will tell you what you want to hear. It will keep you comfortable and confused at the same time. But her calendar never lies. Her actions never lie. Her effort never lies. Start paying attention to what's real. Stop listening to what feels good. All right. If you've read everything up to this point and you still need to know for sure, I'll give you one move. And after this you either get your answer or you get your freedom. Either way you win. Here's what you do. Go completely dark for 7 days. No texts. No calls. No likes. No story reactions. No sliding into her comments. No accidentally showing up where she'll be. Nothing. You vanish from her world for 1 full week. This isn't a game. This isn't manipulation. This isn't some pickup artist tactic to make her jealous. This is you giving the situation room to breathe. This is you stepping back so you can finally see clearly. This is you giving her the chance to show you who she really is when you're not doing all the work. Because right now you're the engine. You're the one keeping this thing moving. And as long as you keep pushing, you'll never know if she actually wants this or if she's just responding out of politeness. So remove yourself. Completely. Let the silence do what your words never could. Let the absence reveal what the presence has been hiding. If she reaches out during those 7 days, good. That tells you something real. That tells you she noticed you were gone. That tells you she cares enough to break the silence herself. That's a data point worth paying attention to. But if she doesn't, if 7 full days pass and your phone stays quiet, if she doesn't even notice you disappeared, then you already have your answer. You just needed the silence to confirm it. After those 7 days, send one final message. Keep it short. Keep it direct. No essays. No emotional speeches. No long explanations about how you've been feeling. None of that. Would be good to see you. When are you free? That's it. 10 words. Simple. Confident. Clear. Then you put the phone down and you wait. Her response will tell you everything you need to know. Not through her words but through her effort. If she gives you a real day and a real time, she's in. If she says Thursday at 7 works for me, you've got something genuine. That's a woman making space for you in her actual life. But if she dodges, if she deflects, if she gives you another round of maybe or I'll check my schedule or things are just really hectic right now, that is your closure. Right there. In the avoidance. In the vagueness. In the complete lack of effort. That's her answer delivered in the only language that never lies. Accept it. Respect it. And don't send another word. Walk away with your head up. You gave her every chance. She chose not to take it. Here's what nobody told you when you were young. Rejection doesn't mean you're broken. It doesn't mean you're not good enough. It doesn't mean something is fundamentally wrong with you. It means one specific person at one specific time didn't feel what you felt. That's it. That's all it means. She didn't see your value. Fine. That doesn't erase your value. That just means she wasn't built to recognize it. Her blindness to what you bring doesn't diminish what you actually offer. You don't lose worth because someone failed to appreciate it. And you've done the same thing to someone else. Be honest. There's probably a girl right now who would give anything for the attention you're pouring into someone who doesn't care. Someone who lights up when your name appears on her screen. Someone who would actually show up if you asked. Think about that for a second. But here's the real shift. The one that changes everything. The moment you stop obsessing over one person who's unsure about you, your entire life opens up. Your energy comes back. Your confidence returns. Your focus sharpens. You stop walking around like a zombie checking your phone every 30 seconds. You start going to the gym with purpose. Not to impress her. Not to make her regret losing you. But because you finally remember what it feels like to invest in yourself. You start building something with your hands and your mind. You start showing up in rooms where people actually want you there. You start talking to new women. Not from desperation. Not from a place of trying to forget her. But from abundance. From genuine curiosity. From the simple truth that the world is full of people and you just freed up all the space in your life. And slowly, quietly, something happens. You stop being the man who begs for attention. You become the man who commands it. Not with tricks. Not with tactics. Not with some fake persona you downloaded from the internet. But because you finally genuinely know what you're worth. And you refuse to negotiate it down for anyone. Your standards rise. Your tolerance for disrespect drops to zero. You start cutting off conversations that don't serve you. You start walking away from situations that drain you. You become selective, intentional, grounded. So before you type that next message, ask yourself one honest question. Has she done anything at all, to earn another second of your time? If the answer is no, put the phone down. Walk away. Not with anger. Not with bitterness. Not with some dramatic goodbye. Just walk away. Quietly, permanently, and with your dignity fully intact. Because the man who knows when to leave, that's the man she'll remember. And by then you won't care. If this hit you where it needed to, subscribe. More truth coming your way.